Welcome back to What I Tasted, where I take your favorite comfort foods, make them plant-based and better. And today I'm making another 31 days of Halloween recipes. I'm going to be making a roasted red pepper soup. Alright, so I'm going to start with some vegetable prep, and then I'm going to start getting everything cooking at the same time. That'll be the easiest way to tackle this video. So I'm going to start with some carrots. I'm going to peel and then cut them up. Then I'm going to move into some onion, where I'm going to cut them up, peel and cut them up as well. So when it comes to prepping these, I don't need a perfect cut because I'm going to be blending. I'm going to be pureeing this entire soup. So I'm going to start with just cutting up the carrots in a manner where they're going to cook quickly. Okay, so now the onion, just going to cut off the ends. Get it peeled. And now for the onion, again, just quick cuts. Okay, and now I'm going to add this to the stovetop. Okay, so that is on and cooking. Now I'm going to use my garlic press and press some garlic cloves right into the mixture. And then also I have some jars of roasted red peppers. Now you can use regular red peppers if you want, and you can, you can roast them yourself and then take off the skin. But I just wanted to keep it simple and go with the jarred version. So I'll strain those out, get rid of that liquid, cut those up a little bit, and then I'll add that as well. Now again, I'm not spending a lot of time with how I'm cutting these red peppers because they're going to cook down, and also they're going to be blended. So just cutting through them to make them smaller, and that's about it. And now I'm going to add them to the carrot and onion when the onion is cooked down a bit. Okay, so I'm going to add the roasted red pepper. I'm going to add some garlic. I'm going to add in some tomato paste. And now I will add in some crushed fire roasted tomato. And then I'm going to add in some vegetable stock. And adding in this vegetable stock, I'm going to let it cook and reduce down a bit. Okay, I'm going to add some basil. And again, I'm not too concerned with breaking the basil down because it's going to be pureed. And the same with some thyme. So what I'm going to do with the thyme is I'm going to pull off the small pieces of the thyme and just make sure I don't have any of the bigger pieces of the thyme that won't blend well. Okay, really like so. Let me just work this down in here. Again, I'm going to let that cook for a moment, let it reduce down some, and then puree it up. Okay, so depending upon what kind of blender you have, this might be a little bit tedious, but basically, I'm going to fill my blender and start blending this and pureeing this. You can use an emulsifier or anything else that you have that might make this easier, whatever you need and want to do. Okay, so back over here at the stovetop, I'm going to hit the remaining stuff in this with a little bit of white cooking wine. And I'm also going to add some lemon. Okay, so I'm going to turn the stovetop back on. I'm going to let that cook, and as soon as that kind of starts heating up and simmering, then I'll add in the rest of the puree. So this is really what I'm looking for from the cooking wine and the lemon, is it's really kind of bubbling, and what it's doing is it's deglazing everything on the bottom there. It's going to bring out a lot of flavor. I'm going to drop this to a simmer, because I don't really need it to cook a whole lot more. I am going to add some cream and some salt and pepper to this. So I'll start with the cream. Okay, so I'll get a little taste test here. Okay, I'm going to add some salt. And crack in some pepper. And give this a mix. And then I'm going to let it cook just a little bit longer, and then I'll start plating this up. Okay, so we want a good looking dinner and stew, but also we want to add that Halloween flair to it. So something else I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bunch of basil leaves and really stack them together, and I'm going to make some basil leaf ribbons, which are going to be used just for plating up, because again, part of the reason I'm doing 31 days of Halloween is to give you fun ways to experience the month of October and share it with your friends and family. Have some great food with a little bit of flair. So now I'm just going to give some small cuts on the basil, since I rolled the basil already. And this way is really quick and simple. And there you go, there's the basil ribbons. And then I also have some of these sunflower shoots. Some sunflower shoots that I'm also going to put on top of this stew as well. Okay, so there it is. There is the roasted red pepper stew that you can have on Halloween and share it with your friends and family. You can also cook this off, and you can prepare it ahead of time to do some meal prep with it and serve this later on in the week. There's lots of different things you can do with this. This is great. But me, I'm just gonna enjoy this right now. You really get the lemon and the garlic coming through. I get the carrot, I get the onion. There's a good tomato note coming through. There's a really bright roasted red pepper note coming through. This is actually really well balanced. This is great. Definitely gonna enjoy this, and you should too. Make sure that you check out my other 31 days of Halloween, because I'm your friend with food benefits, and I'll see you again real soon.